Plus, for many, the bombing of Pearl Harbor is nothing more than black and white images, but a woman who remembers watching from the cane fields is now teaching a new generation about that dark day. Scores of books have been written about the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. But it took decades for a woman who watched those bombings as a child to put her memories in writing. Tonight, Terry Hunter introduces us to the author of Pearl Harbor Child.
At the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor, Dorinda Nicholson was 6 years old, living with her family on Pearl City Peninsula, just across the channel from Ford Island. She and her father ran out to the front yard to watch.
And we looked up, and just barely above our house and barely above the trees were the low-flying airplanes. And some of them even had the canopies pushed back so you could see the goggles on the pilot's eyes.
Not knowing whether there would be more attacks, her family hid out in the cane fields above Pearl City, and later were given shelter at the Waipahu sugar mill. When they were allowed to return home almost a week later, Dorinda looked all day for her pet dog, Hula Girl, eventually finding her in a crawl space under the house.
She was very weak, but strong enough to wag her short tail a couple of switches, and we had a tearful, joyful reunion.
Dorinda didn't write her book Pearl Harbor Child until after she had spoken at the 50th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack. That's when she realized there was next to nothing written about the attack from a child's perspective. After the book was published, lots of other people came to her wanting to tell their stories. And that gave her the chance to write several more books, including one that collects children's World War II stories from around the world. You can hear Dorinda speak about the attack and what life was like for her family during the war this Friday and Saturday at the Pacific Aviation Museum. The author is also a former hula dancer, but she's lived on the mainland for many years, and she blames KGMB for that. It seems she won a talent contest at this station in the 1950s.
And so KGMB gave me a ticket to go to California, and then I met this really cute guy, and that just somehow I never ever made it back, and it's all KGMB's fault.
Terry Hunter, KGMB 9 News.
Oh, sweet. I guess she went on to marry him, and they settled down, and that was that.
So the love connection.
Right here in this studio.
Oh, scary.
How about that?
Scary.